Hello, my name is Andrew Church, and this is my interview video for Communications 240. So the lady that I interviewed, her name is Mary Morrow. She is officially the Senior Honors Advisor for Quad Learning, which is the company that runs the honors program at Jackson College. And she's just helped me the most. She's been the most helpful as far as where I need to transfer, what classes I need to take, and things like that. And there really wasn't somebody at Jackson College that really did anything for aviation, which is the field I'm trying to go into. So I thought that she was the best bet. So I asked Mary what her job pertains to and what she kind of does on a daily basis. She kind of said she was a jack of all trades. She does pretty much everything from the start to finish of a student coming to Jackson College. She does everything from going to high schools and recruiting students to enrolling students into the program of the American Honors, all the way helping them with grades, helping them with their professors, helping with the classes that they need to sign up for and what their requirements need to be able to transfer to a larger school, all the way to signing forms and getting them on to graduation and helping them even further. As far as how Mary got into this job, she kind of said, when she was in college trying to transfer from a 2-year to a 4-year college, she didn't have much help. They kind of just helped her with the transfer forms and sent her on her way. She didn't really have any verbal communication with anybody to help her to be able to transfer smoothly and get everything worked out. She kind of had to do it all herself. So, she kind of set out for her career to get into higher education and to really get into a position like she is now to help kids on a daily basis try to navigate that corner from a 2-year to a 4-year, get all your transfer scripts in, and just do everything that they need to do with as much help as they can get to be able to further their careers. So I asked the next two questions kind of in one big question, who depends on you and who do you depend on? And her answer was kind of the same for both. She said the students. She depends on the students to come to her. That's her job, is to advise students on to further education. And so she really depends on them to come in, ask the questions, and do everything that she needs to do to advise them. And she also said, the students depend on her. It's her job to help them. So they depend on her to come in, answer all the questions, help them transfer, and get on their way. What Mary said she likes most about her job is kind of having a small cohort. The cohort at American Honors, it's only about 120 students. And she said she loves that so much because she used to work at a higher university and she had thousands of students that she would help advise. And she said, really you can't get to know 1,000 students as well as you can get to know 120. So she said that she really loved not only advising them academically, but helping them get through college almost on a personal level, listening to their problems, getting to know them on a first name basis and talking to them almost as a friend. And that really helps a lot, is to be able to understand a student even more, like past face value. And she said that's what she really likes the most, is just getting to know the students on a more of a personal level. When Mary talked about the most challenging part of the job, she said it kind of goes hand in hand with the things she likes the most, and that's the personal relationships with the students. Because she said she gets to know them on such a personal level that she goes home at night and almost thinks about the students after the fact. If a student's having a rough day, if a student's having health issues or issues at home or anything like that, she kind of takes that home with her, and she kind of takes it to heart more than a normal advisor would, since she has those relationships. And she said that's kind of just the most challenging part of her job. When it comes to communication skills, really the only thing Mary talked about in her job specifically is the differences of communication that she has to do on a daily basis. And what I mean by that is, like, she'll have 100 students come in a day, and each one of those students she has to communicate differently with. So she really has to pick up on how she needs to talk to those students, how those students interact best with her, how she needs to change, just the way she's talking to them based on how they are. She said there was one student that she's only met a couple of times. The most communication that they have is via internet. And she said, through emails and text, she knows this person very well, and that's just how that person is able to communicate with her. So she said, communication in her job is really about understanding how to change the communication skills based on the person and to just really adapt to the situation. When I asked Mary what communication skills she would recommend that I would need, kind of get through college and go into my real life and stuff, she said, communication skills with people is the most important thing, she said. And what's great about the American Honors Program is it kind of gets all of us together in the cohort and gets to know each other, even if beforehand we didn't know that person. And she said, that's the best communication that you can have is face to face, talking to different kinds of people. You have international students that you kind of have to talk to differently than you would your best friend that lives down the street. And she said, that's the best thing to learn is how to talk to different people differently, and how to communicate with people that are your peers, and how to communicate with people that, she said, could be the dean. She said that's part of her job. She has to talk to students, and then she has to talk to the dean the same day. So her communication skills differ, and she said, that's great. So when you talk to your friend, and then you come in here and talk to me, she said, that's the best communication skill that you can have, is to really just learn how to communicate with different levels of people differently, so you can talk to anybody when you get out in the real world, and you can talk to interviewers and interviewees and employees and just everybody in your life. You can have good conversations with them and professional conversations. So what I thought about the whole assignment, I think it went well. I went in there, I presented myself, sat down, I asked her if it was alright if I took a little bit of her time to ask her these questions, and she said, that was fine. The questions went well. I listened to everything she said. I made eye contact. I think that's something I kind of have an issue with, is eye contact. It's hard when somebody's talking to have eye contact with them for so long, and I personally start to question myself. It's like, oh, am I staring at them too much and stuff like that. So I kind of have to work on that. I really tried to keep it professional. I didn't fidget in my seat or anything like that like I am now. And I think it went well. We just kind of rattled through the questions, and she told me everything she had. When she paused or something and couldn't think of something, I didn't help her along, but I kind of put my 2 cents in to help loosen up the situation, kind of, which I think helped a lot. I think that small talk in an interview, even if you keep it at a minimum, is okay. I think it kind of puts the two people at a more level playing field, and kind of eases the tension maybe that an interview would have. But overall, it went well. I don't think I would change anything. There's a few things that I would like to work on to make my interviewing process better. But those are all things that I can work out, and I think it went really well.